u Rwanda ruzira ruswa n'akarengane mu cyerekezo 2050. Radio Imanzi 105.1 FM.
We got you updated. This is Radio Imanzi News in English.
Develop new biosecurity capabilities in Rwanda. Rwanda's Chamber of Deputies has noted that the bilateral relationship with the Maldives Parliament is expected to benefit both countries' private sectors. On the international scene, Senegalese President Macky Sall's coalition has narrowly won last month's legislative elections according to final results. Welcome back. Now news in detail. Representatives of the younger and older generations from various districts across Rwanda gathered today from an International Youth Day conference organized by Never Again Rwanda. This year, the theme is intergenerational solidarity, creating a world for all ages. The discussions centered on cultural norms and attitudes that undermine intergenerational solidarity in their communities, as well as strategies for fostering healthy and long-term interactions and relationships between generations. Rwanda's Chamber of Deputies has noted that the bilateral relationship with the Maldives Parliament is expected to benefit both countries' private sectors. This was revealed when the Maldives Parliament Speaker Mohamed Nasheed and his delegation met with Rwanda's Speaker of the Chamber of Deputies, Honorable Donatil Kabadisa, who was with Rwandan Parliament members. Mohamed Nasheed pointed out that the cooperation between the parliaments of the two countries has strong basis towards the vision of the development of both countries.
I mentioned about the tourism trade in the Maldives and how the both countries can benefit from more engagement and more travel between Rwanda and the Maldives. The Maldives receives about 2 million tourists a year. We have a lot of international brands and local brands. We do resorts, and we think that there is a very big scope for us to come here and learn how you do your tourism, and also for companies in Rwanda to go to the Maldives and see how it is done there. Our second biggest industry is fishing. We do a lot of fishing one by one, and we export processed fish. I think that is also something that people of Rwanda might be interested in. We are certainly will be very interested in your fruits and vegetables and other many construction products that you produce for the development effort in the Maldives.
Honorable Donatil Kabadisa said the private sectors of Rwanda and the Maldives will benefit from this bilateral relationship and that friendship forums for both countries' parliaments will be established. This is the second time the Maldives Parliament Speaker has come to Rwanda. He visited institutions in the country in 2019 and he has stated that he may return in October this year. Moving on ahead, the government of Rwanda has entered into a partnership with an American biotechnology company, Ginkgo Bioworks, in a bid to develop new biosecurity capabilities in the country. The organization plans to support Rwanda's public health institutions as the country works to address biosecurity challenges in the region. Claire Akamanzi, Rwanda Development Board CEO, noted that the development will stimulate Rwanda's growing bioeconomy and help in learning more about biodiversity. Ginkgo and RDB plan to collaborate to inform workforce development priorities in the areas of biotechnology, biomanufacturing and bioengineering, and to explore potential opportunities for Rwanda to leverage its biodiversity as a foundation for innovation within its bioeconomy. The East African University Rwanda is in collaboration with the Rwanda National Police, has launched a campaign to educate students about fire safety. Manzi Prince has more on this report.
The outreach is part of Rwanda National Police program to equip different institutions and groups of people in Rwanda with basic knowledge and skills against fire emergencies. Inspector of Police Boniface Ruyanje noted that students should learn at least the basics in fire safety.
Anytime, any moment the fire can start at their campus. So the message is none else but them to partner with us and fight fire. They have to know at least the basic knowledge on how to fight fire and what to do in case of fire, using the portable fire extinguishers and fight fire when it's still small.
Kawatesi Alice, the director of the East African University Rwanda, stated that the students would apply the knowledge they gained during the training in the event of a fire outbreak in the future.
It means a lot to institution and as well as to students and us as well, because this is the thing that happen at home. It can happen here, the fire can outbreak here, it can outbreak at home while you're cooking. So it means the awareness, it means the safety, it means the healthy. So you don't get your house on fire, or you set it on fire, or you just for the ignorance. So for the sake of ignorance, this is very helpful. For the case of carelessness, this is still helpful. We saw the practice, we saw the exercise. I believe that once something outspark, they will use the knowledge and the idea and the practice they have involved in to try to fight the fire. Just be careful.
Since last year, the Rwanda National Police Fire and Rescue Brigade Department has been educating and training different groups of people on fire safety. The training combines theory and practical sessions on the causes and components of fire, safer measures against fire, and how to use different firefighting gadgets to put out fire. Mans Prince, Radio Imanzi.
Economic news is a regular feature on Radio Imanzi.
Now the Rwanda Stock Exchange market report. The trading session recorded its turnover of 4,486,300 Rwandan francs from 33,600 shares traded in 4 deals on the equities market and 2,654,000 Rwandan francs worth of bonds traded in 2 deals on the fixed income market. I&M Bank closed the counter at 43 Rwandan francs. The trading session recorded its turnover of 361,300 Rwandan francs from 8,600 shares traded in 3 deals. Bregwa closed the counter at 165 Rwandan francs. The trading session recorded its turnover of 4,125,000 Rwandan francs from 25,000 shares traded in 1 deal. Bank of Kigali closed the counter at 272 Rwandan francs, Simerwa at 120, MTN Rwanda at 177, Equity Bank at 440, Kenya Commercial Bank at 370, National Media Group at 1,200 Rwandan francs, RH Buffalo closed the counter at 104, Uchumi Supermarket closed the counter at 104 and R8 Buffalo closed the counter at 526 Rwandan francs as the market closed. The currency market review of today. The Kenyan shilling buying price was 8.5 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 8.7 Rwandan francs. Tanzanian shilling buying price was 0.43 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 0.44. Ugandan shilling buying price was 0.26 and the selling price was 0.27. Burundian franc buying price was 0.49 and the selling price was 0.5. The US dollar buying price was 1,021 and the selling price was 1,041. The British pound buying price was 1,245 and the selling price was 1,270. The euro buying price was 1,053 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 1,074 Rwandan francs.
Some items of international news on Radio Imanzi.
The Ugandan government has scrapped the value-added tax on imported rice from Tanzania. The development comes 2 weeks after Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni appealed to all the 7 East African Community member states to remove all non-tariff barriers, saying they were hampering economic integration and development in the region. The Secretary General of Kampala Rice Traders Association, Mr. Robert Seinongo, commended the government for scrapping the VAT of 180,000 Ugandan shillings per ton of rice, which he said was affecting traders. Senegalese President Macky Sall's coalition has narrowly won last month's legislative election according to final results, but has kept its absolute majority in parliament thanks to a new alliance. Sall's coalition obtained an absolute majority of 83 deputies against 82 in total for the opposition, with the rallying of one opposition deputy, Pep Diop, former president of the National Assembly and Senate. Africa's Public Health Agency says the continent still does not have a single dose of a monkeypox vaccine, but discussions were underway with at least 2 partners. The acting director for the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Ahmed Ogwell, said the partners are largely multilateral institutions and non-African governments. There are no discussions with the private sector because all available doses have already been bought by countries. The United Nations humanitarian projects face a record funding gap this year, with only a third of the required $48.7 billion secured so far as global needs outpace pledges, according to the World Body's Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs. The money is needed to help about 204 million people worldwide as armed conflict and climate change emerge as key drivers of mega crises that threaten the livelihoods of whole communities. Germany has suspended most of its operations in Mali after the local military-led government denied flyover rights to a United Nations peacekeeping mission. However, the government spokesperson Stephen Hebstreet said Germany was prepared in principle to participate in an international peacekeeping mission, but only if this was supported by the Malian government. With that, we come to the end of tonight's edition.